video in the Fancy Stitch Combo series. I'm going to show you how to work a stitch called Granite Relief Stitch, and it's a very cool looking stitch. And this video is sponsored by Lion Brand, and that gives me a chance to show you yarns from their LB collection, which is their luxury yarn collection. And I found out that many people haven't heard of these yarns, so it's a good chance for me to show you these yarns. And because I like to show the different fancy combo stitches in different yarns and different gauges, I can do that with these beautiful yarns. Let's go ahead and take a look at this stitch. This is the stitch actually knit into a dishcloth. Because this stitch is not lacy and it's a pretty tight stitch, really anytime you have a stitch like that, you can easily make it into a dishcloth. Of course, well, not of course, I will give you instructions for how to make this dishcloth, and there will also be instructions and links to everything you see in this video in the video description field below. So this is a pretty stitch with these kind of double garter stitch bumps. You'll see how those work. This dishcloth happens to be knit with the LB Collection Cotton Bamboo yarn, which is 50% cotton and 48% rayon from bamboo. It is machine washable and it's excellent for baby items. And I'll tell you, I have two examples here of this yarn. This has been washed and dried. I don't think they recommend drying as a washing instruction on the yarn, but I did dry it and it turned out fine. And here's the back of the stitch. It looks like wrong side. So this is the washed cotton bamboo, and here is the cotton bamboo without machine washing and drying. Has a bit more body to it. It's not quite as soft, not quite as floppy, but I can see that if I was knitting baby items, washing and drying was maybe a good idea. It didn't change size and it came out nicely. And if I was knitting maybe not dishcloths, maybe placemats or something that I wanted them to have a bit more body and they didn't have to be soft, I'd probably hand wash them and set them out flat to dry. But here's the stitch in a slightly different gauge. Nope, exact same gauge. I knit this and then afterwards decided to make it into a dishcloth. Okay, this next sample is this a different gauge? Or a different needle size? Yes, I used a much bigger needle on this one, size 9 US needle. And it still is a closed stitch. It's not, you don't see holes in the stitch that make it lacy really, the wrong side. This one is knit with the LB Collection Superwash Merino, 100% superwash merino. So it's wool and it can be machine washed, which is nice. It's easy to care for. And this is a DK light worsted weight. I did not deliberately match my nail polish to this yarn. It looks like I did. I just noticed that. Okay. And it's available in 26 colors. And you can see all those on the Lion Brand website. Okay, for the prettiest little sample that I knit up, here is the same stitch in stripes. And I used a size 6 for this. And it's a little bit tighter with this. I used the LB Collection Silk. You can see the beautiful sheen on this yarn. This is 100% silk, sport weight yarn, hand dyed, and it's available in 20 different colors on the Lion Brand website. You can see the hand dyeing gives it slight variations in the color. It's really pretty. So this is knit just one pattern repeat in one color before I switched. This is so pretty, and the silk feels so nice. And there's the wrong side. When you do stripes, you end up with not quite clean color breaks, so the wrong side looks like the wrong side. Okay, to work this stitch, it's a pretty interesting stitch, and you'll see this, something like this in a lot of different stitches that you do, because the stitch count is actually cut in half in the middle of the repeat. This is worked with a multiple of 2 stitches, and I've cast on a little bit here so I can show you all 4 rows in the stitch. Row 1 is just knit, so I'll take care of that. Okay, and row 2 is knit 2 together across the row, which we're on the wrong side of the work. It seems counterintuitive, but for us to get these awesome double garter stitch bumps, which, you know, they're actually 2 stitches in there because it's a knit 2 together. Let's do it. So knitting 2 together across the row means we're cutting the stitch count in half. Okay, and then row 3, we're going to bring the stitch count back up to the original number by increasing every stitch, and we're going to KFB, or knit front and back, in each stitch. So to work the KFB, you put your needle in and wrap it and pull it through, but don't pull that old stitch off the left needle. Swing the tip of your right needle around and into the back loop of that stitch. And when you do, you can tighten up the first half of the stitch a little bit by tugging on the yarn. Wrap the needle and pull it through, then pull the old stitch off the needle. Again, knit normally, but leave the old stitch on the left needle. Swing the tip of your needle around to the back of that stitch. Wrap the needle and pull it through. You've doubled the stitch. And usually I find with with people who haven't worked this stitch, the thing that's the most difficult is they end up with a loose first half of the stitch because they pull their needle around to work the back loop of the stitch. And if you don't give a little slight tug on the working yarn, the first half of the stitch can be loose from swinging the tip of your needle around. Okay. Then the last row of the 4-row repeat is just to purl. And so I won't show you that. It's a simple stitch. And you just keep repeating rows 1 to 4 until you get to the length you want, and you can bind off normally on the right side. Again, the instructions for working this stitch, as well as working this stitch in the round, are in the video description field below, as well as on my website. Good luck.